The Best Hawaii, presented by American Savings Bank and Hawaiian Telecom.
Hi, Kini.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to connect with you.
Yes, of course.
So tell me about the beginning of designing and creating clothes and all of this. How did this all begin for you?
So it began with my auntie teaching me at 10 years old. It was passed down from my grandfather to her. She had a sewing class that she taught me and my cousins, and I was the only one that stuck with the class. From there, she had nurtured me throughout the whole process, and she was the one who taught me the basics of sewing. And from there, I went to the community college, and I got onto Project Runway and All Stars, but it was a journey. It was me trying out for Project Runway 5 times, getting on the 6th time, so it was trial and error. There was a lot of people who doubted me and didn't know what my aesthetic was, so it was definitely a process to where I'm at right now. Yeah.
What was it about sewing or creating clothes when you were that young that appealed to you?
When I first started sewing, it was the danger. It was working with a needle and machinery that really made me want to sew. As a creative person, it's hard to tell people what's going on in here. So it was a nice way and a nice tool for me to tell people, here's what's going on in my mind. And sewing, creating, designing was an outlet for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
5 times, or 6 times, I guess.
6 times, yeah.
How did you find that drive and that persistence to keep going?
Well, one was my family. They were there to back me up every single time that I tried. Another thing was I just had this passion in me and knowing that I wanted to be a designer. And coming back, I wanted to take what the judges had told me every single time positively. I received it positively. I wanted to hear them out because they're professionals in their position telling me what was wrong. I wanted to hear it positively and I changed it. And it was more self-discovery. It was me finding and honing into what my craft was. It was really me kind of figuring out what I really wanted to do in fashion, and Project Runway really did help me out with that.
Who inspires you? Who do you think is the expert in your mind?
There's a bunch of people throughout this path to where I've been right now. Of course, my aunt who taught me how to sew is one.
Does she take credit?
Is
she like, I taught him everything he knows?
My grandfather, who's not with us, and he's the one who, it was passed down from him, who taught her. So it was definitely generations that went down, and it is for sure something that I can be grateful for, a legacy that I can pass down to my nieces and my nephews. It's other designers like Christian Dior that's no longer here, but there's other designers that design under his house. Alexander Mcqueen is one.
He truly does inspire a lot of people.
He does. It was definitely something that was outside of the box. He taught me that it's not really inspiration physically or an object. It can be emotionally, it can be something, how you're feeling. It really can be something more than just an object as inspiration. And that's why I appreciate what Alexander Mcqueen is.
And I feel like he had a lot of emotion too.
Yes, and you can definitely see it in his collections. And I feel like that's something that is amazing, and that's why I feel like he's a person that I look up to also. Yeah.
So with all of your accolades and your accomplishments and everything, what do you, when you think back on as your greatest achievement thus far?
I think one of my greatest achievements is moving from the garage or getting that piece and moving here and having my own design studio and being able to nurture and teach the younger generation and having a place for creative people to to be able to foster that for the next generation.
What can we expect from you in the future? Like, what are you working on?
Well, more collections every year. We strive to just be more modern, and we're so disconnected from the States, and we can utilize our inspiration a little bit more deeper. And we have such amazing culture here in Hawaii, but twisting it into what is our native culture and being more innovative. And you know, it's just more collections to come in the near future, more prints, and stepping outside of the box. I feel like that's what I'm trying to do, and just dig deeper into what is our brand here in Hawaii.
Yeah.